Hey, good morning. This is Karen. I'm Karen with Veronica's Dreams Coaching and Tarot. So today's our daily reading. We'll just take a look at current situation, the present influence, and what we don't see, what to watch for, and the best thing to look out for, like this to know about. I like to have one really good thing. And this is a general reading, so it may or may not resonate, but I do believe these kind of are timeless. You should come across them when you need to. And I'm using Runik Tarot. I do personal readings. Link to my websites below. Let's take a second. What do we need to know today? What do we need to know today? Okay, we have got current situation, Four of Wands, present influence, the Star. That feels good. Hopefully there's some good energy here today. What we don't see, Judgment, and what to watch for. Oh, be careful of that shit. That's Nine of Swords. Best thing ever. Oh, nice. And okay, so this comes from yesterday, right? Because we had Five of Wands and the present influence yesterday. I remember that because I just looked back. I looked back because I had a really rough day yesterday, and I thought, let me look at the reading. I wanted to see if it, kind of coincided, and it kind of did because there was some things I was pretty not happy with. Anyway, yeah, and it was a conflict. Like, it was really weird. So this definitely did come into play. So, when we look at, like, since yesterday, the prior readings was the Five of Wands being the conflict or the present influence. This is the bottom of the deck now. So I feel like it's leftover from yesterday. Sorry, I really do. I mean, yeah, I did look back at it, but um, even if I didn't, this is kind of where you're at. This frustrated feeling, or I mean, it definitely could be competitive, but I feel like you're in a position where you're not sure that you want to be in. And it feels like that. Like, I want more control, or I want to do something a little bit differently, or I feel like I'm not, where I need to be, or I can't voice my opinion, something like that, where, like, literally, she's tied up, she's stuck, but she's also pretty darn angry about it. And now anger comes in all different levels, right? So, or, and look at it too, like anger, you can be angry because you're frustrated, you're hurt, anger comes from all different areas. Um, but I do feel like definitely things switch. Um, but I will say, once I'll get into the reading, but what to watch for is the Nine of Swords. So that's a key here, is like, don't get stressed. Don't, because there's something happening, and you may not directly see it, and you may be frustrated or whatever, but watch for this anxiety, watch for this stress. It doesn't do us any good, right? So the current situation is Four of Wands. I do feel like this is a coming together for sure. It doesn't matter, it definitely could be love, but it could be any life area where you feel like things are coming together. That's what I'm getting here, is like, this happens to be two people coming together, but if we look at it in a general sense, it could be things coming together, like maybe an idea coming together, or but it's more than just coming together, because this is a celebration of love in this deck specifically. So I feel like it is something that is really important to you, that's happening, and it is important to you, and the influence here is the Star. So this is all about what you truly wish for. So today could be a day that you really want to pay attention to what's happening, especially because I feel like it when we do these daily readings, they're not always these big. They can be, but they're not always these big things. These feelings we're talking about could be very little, but very important. And that's the key here, is that this might not be this huge job offer, but at the same time, it could be leaning you or leading you towards something that will be gratifying. Whatever it is, the star is your influence. So I feel like that is about those wishes and dreams that you have are coming together today. Like you'll I'm thinking you will even see that. You will see things starting to kind of come together. What's happening? Things start making sense today. Like the Four of Wands being things come together. The Star being these are things that you've dreamed about and have been working on probably too. I like that energy today. I do a lot, but all I will say is watch for the little things, because that's going to be where it lies. And that's how I feel. I feel like sometimes we watch for these big things, and that's not necessarily, we can't, big things don't happen to us every day, right? So it's the little things along the way that we have to group together and put together to see the bigger picture. What you don't see is the judgment. So I do feel like you will feel like you're coming back alive again. And here's the deal. This Five of Wands, oh, look at that. There's the Six of Wands right after that, which just to me says progression. So when they're at the bottom of the deck like that, it's not necessarily, but the frustration and feeling like you're stuck will start subsiding, and then this is what you don't see, so things are starting to come alive. And that's what I mean. I feel like this could be a very small thing that shows you that things are progressing, things are going better than you may think. And then I think that's another reason why we have this card in the what to watch for, because be careful, don't get too stressed, because you might miss it. Focus on gratitude today, not and not don't focus on the future. Because another thing the Nine of Swords is, and anxiety is in general, is living in the future and or wanting to know what's going to happen but not knowing. And here's the key, the judgment is what we don't see. So don't get anxious because you don't see all of the things that are happening yet. If that makes any sense, I feel like that's all about what it is. It's like if we don't see it, doesn't mean you need to get frustrated about it, because things are happening, but they're not always apparent right away. Some things are happening in the background that lead up to whatever it is, whether this is love or work or home or family or just your day-to-day emotions. The universe is constantly putting things into place. So let's say if it's love, we'll just use that, and what's happening in the background is there's a person that is, let's say, going to be changing jobs, and because they change jobs, they are put into your path. But right now, what's happening in the background, right, is the job changing, and that's happening. So you don't see it, but it's happening. So that person will come into your path because what's happening is happening. So that's kind of what I'm feeling like this is. Like, let's say if it's about work, there's a project that you're working on that you feel that's important to you, but maybe the higher ups or a customer or whatever you do for a living, something's happening in the background that you don't know about. They're putting some plans into place, or people are talking or trying to figure out how this is going to work. So just keep that in mind today, because I feel like that's what that's exactly saying. And I think that's exactly why we have the judgment in what we don't see and the Nine of Swords in what to watch for. Watch for that because you may not know what's going on yet, but don't think necessarily nothing's happening. And because two, we've got the best thing ever, which is the Fool. Well, and to me personally, this is like the best card in the deck because taking that leap of faith is sometimes really hard, but it sometimes brings us the absolute best things ever. So, and that's why I enjoy this card because when I get it, I'm like, oh, cool, I get to do something that I'm not like really planning on, and it's gonna be a little bit scary and all of those things, but I'm gonna take that leap of faith. So I do feel like that it's an exciting time. There's something definitely beginning, and I like that what you don't see is the judgment because this is kind of things being reborn, things coming back to life again. So anyway, yeah, it should be a good day. But honestly, if you don't see things like really progressing, don't get stressed about it. You're not supposed to see it yet, probably if you're not seeing it yet. But it doesn't mean that it's not happening. And you'll find out about it because the best thing ever is there is a new plan, a new adventure, a new beginning. And it's very, and this new beginning, again, full innocence, no expectations, that kind of thing. So, and that's really important sometimes is to start a project or start something, whether it's relationship project without any expectations. So there you have it. I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know if you did. Comment, like, all of the wonderful things, and have a beautiful day.